Business author Peter Drucker once said, "The entrepreneur always searches for change, responds to it, and exploits it as an opportunity." Make your vote for small business and join us on It's My Biz, where we meet dedicated entrepreneurs who are turning opportunities into great businesses. Tonight, we meet a small business owner who has big plans for her project management and interiors business. She'll be getting insights and advice from 4 phenomenal South African thought leaders who have built great brands and businesses of their own. Tonight's small business owner is Sarusha Singh. I met up with her at her showroom in Boksburg.
I was an extremely hard worker, and I didn't feel that I was getting a satisfaction out of working for a boss. While continuing in a working environment, studying business management, it sort of built up my confidence to a stage where I felt I was experienced enough and that I was willing to take a risk, go out there and see if I could really do it. That was a turning point for me, and it was a very scary decision, but you have to find something deep within yourself and say, I can do it, even if you don't know how you're going to do it.
So break it down for me. What's this business about?
3PM stands for Proactive Procurement Project Management, and 4 Design is the industry that we're involved in. So it's proactive because that's essentially the brand and the service that I'm trying to sell. And I believe in that. I believe in the name and the brand, and I think it all starts there. And I discovered while working that I was very passionate about furniture and fabrics and textures and decor and things like that. So I capitalized on that and decided maybe I could possibly have my own range of furniture.
Where are you hoping to take this?
In terms of 3PM Time to Play, I think I would like to see the range move into retail, expand regionally, expand globally, create a brand on an international scale, and tap into the market.
What are some of the major challenges you're facing?
There's 2 aspects of the business, and as an entrepreneur, you need to have focus on one thing. So the project side of the business is sustainable at this stage in time, and we managed to launch the range, but it needs a lot of capacity, it needs a lot of marketing strategies to be implemented in it. So I think juggling the 2 at the moment is quite a big challenge.
So what are you hoping to take away from the show?
I want to grow, I want to employ more people, I want to expand, and in terms of the range, it needs marketing strategies, it needs growth strategies. So where do I find capacity, and how do I line myself up with strategic management that can actually help me take both sides of the business into expansion?
Here she is, tonight's small business trailblazer, Sarusha Singh. They're the great minds behind some of South Africa's most successful brands and businesses. Now let's introduce you to tonight's thought leaders.
Hi, it's Mark Keating from Sales Guru. And Sales Guru over the last 8 years has had just one core mission, and that's the upliftment of sales as a professional profession in South Africa.
Hi, my name is Christine Bond. I'm the co-owner of Allgrey Classics and Classic Bond. We are manufacturers of lifestyle and decor and furniture products and have been manufacturing these products for the past 25 years.
Hi, I am Cindy Koyana. For 15 years after qualifying as a chartered accountant, I was a corporate animal until I saw the light 3 years ago and I decided to be an entrepreneur. I'm the chairperson of Advanced Capital, a business where we are invested mainly in mining services.
Hi, my name is Alon Reyes. I'm CEO, that's Chief Excitement Officer at Reyes Corp. I've had the privilege of building entrepreneurs for the last 13 years. We've put 1,200 businesses into the South African economy. South Africa needs entrepreneurs, we need you to be successful, and I'm just blessed to be part of that journey.
It's over to Sarusha to present her business case to the thought leaders. That's coming up after the break.
Register on simplybiz.co.za and get the support you need for your small business. Register on simplybiz.co.za and get the support you need for your small business.
Hi, my name is Surusha. I'm from a company called 3PM4 Design. We do project management, procurement, and interior design service consulting for the corporate and commercial property development sector. We recently launched into our own range of children's and adults interiors. The challenges that I'm facing as growth models and marketing strategies within both sides of the business, and really looking at the feasibility of the range currently with the market trends.
I'm very pleased to meet you today and happy to hear that there's somebody who's wanting to get involved in a business and industry that is very close to my heart. I understand that you're currently involved in consulting and procuring various furniture and interiors for large groups. Can you expand on why it is that you have observed a gap in the market to enter into furniture retail?
The product offering was lacking for children's items and children's furniture, and that was basically my drive and my objective in terms of coming up with a fresh, innovative range that hasn't been done and try and tap into that niche market.
Cutting straight to the chase, if you were looking as an external investor and you've got two choices, one to invest either into your design company, your consulting project management, or the other is take the same amount of revenue and rather invest it into your time to play company, which you believe would give the greatest return over the next 2 to 3 years?
Definitely the project management side of the business would bring in more return for an investor because it's got a proven track record. On the range side of the business, I would like to go back to the drawing board and ask the question from an investor's point of view, is this a feasible business investment? Is it not? Do I need to refocus and shift energy into the project side of the business?
My area of experience has been in the furniture manufacturing business, and I really think that there are often gaps in the market that are there for very good reasons, in that people have not entered perhaps into the children's furniture market because there are many red flags in that area. The furniture business is an extremely cyclical business linked to very many broad economic factors relating to the construction industry, to what is happening in the housing. One needs to take cognizance of all these factors and have a very clear and focused strategy as to what you would bring to that industry. What would your differentiator be? And therefore, I think one must play to one's strengths. You are in an area of business that you are clearly good at. You understand those customers. You've retained those customers for many years. And when you are diversifying, it is sometimes very important to play to the strengths and to play in the field that you are an expert in currently.
Every second that you are losing focus on growing your main opportunity on the consulting side of your business is a second too much. You've obviously got something that's sustainable that people want to buy. If you've got such a product, which clearly you have, how can you now develop that further? You've got to make the call at some stage, and I would recommend sooner than later, as to really focusing what's going to give you the best chance of success. I think within your heart you already know what that is.
And I think as an individual, business person, you've got the right profile, because you spoke about looking for a partner. The question is, are you ready to have a partner whose value system and even business culture might need you investing in that space and taking your eye off the ball? So for me, you are a woman in an environment where corporate today is looking for diversified service providers, and there are regulations and legislation that already is giving you a great stepping stone. So diversifying a product offering within the client base that you've cracked in might be a great thing to consider.
I completely agree. I think you've made 3 classic entrepreneurial mistakes. The first is product, service, fantasy. Okay. People in product who are selling products fantasize about selling service. and you've come from a service and you're fantasizing about selling a product. So you're making one classical mistake. And let's just cut to the chase. Kill it. Kill the product. You're good at the service. Second is the whole idea of thinking that the more you have, the more opportunity you'll have. All the research shows the more focused you are with one unique USP that makes you damn good at one thing, the more likely you are to succeed. I see too often with entrepreneurs that try and diversify too early on in their entrepreneurial journey. You've made that classic mistake. And the third is that a client doth not a business make. So one client doesn't make a business. And very often you'll find that as a small business, we all start off with the one client. But when you get too involved in that one client, you live and die by what's going on in that client. To Cindy's point, it's about diversifying that and making sure that you have 3, 4, 5 different clients. But that means in a consulting business that you have to build a consulting business. And it can't be about you. It has to be about your methodology, your thinking. The idea now is to now start building your processes so other people can start implementing what you are good at.
I think if I can just add on to what Alon had to say, which I thought was fantastic, is you'll sit there like many entrepreneurs thinking, so how do I now do this? And I think just 2 very quick tips. One is first ascertain what is their feeling in regards to the service that you've delivered so far. Are there ways that they believe that could be improved? Make it about them, not about you. And it's important as any business owner to understand that. And then ask them for a bit of their assistance and share with them in regards to that you wanting to expand your business. If they believe in you and assist you to date and you've delivered a great service, who else is there that they might know? You'll find a lot of the people you deal with have held similar positions at other organizations.
On looking for a partner, as you expand, as you talk about the growth strategy, as you focus in the consulting space, you are then likely to know the network better. And when you find a partner, and again, optimizing on BE right now, is finding a partner that doesn't only come with the skill, but because if they're the right equity partner who can be funded by your developmental institutions like the NEF or IDC, it means you don't just get a skill, but you also get a partner who can be funded in buying a stake in your business. And that, again, is something you must take time, because the minute you give somebody equity partnership in your space, that is a partner for some time.
I think that the need for you to have a partner right now is probably not as great as you perceive. If you continue pursuing the business which is sustaining itself, which is keeping its head above water in the consulting, you're probably looking more for people you can collaborate with, collaborators, people who can assist you and work with you and give you advice where there are synergies that you can share.
With regard to the range, if I split the divisions up, and I bring on board a sales specialist company that can turn it around for me and run with it full time, and then where I can shift my focus back onto projects.
The one part of what you said is great, which is you start to focus on the consulting business, but even bringing in another external specialist to make that work, there's so many unknown factors, and I don't believe there's a magic wand that's just going to fix it. The hardest thing for you, having that as your baby, as something that you've grown, is going to be to step back and look at that and say, actually, I've got to cut the string. And as long as you're attached to that, you're going to carry on looking at every idea as to how you can maybe save or what you can do. It's stopping you from moving ahead with the business. And I can really empathize, because I was in a similar position. We had a division that actually was making 6 figures, and we had to take a decision to actually close that down because it was to the detriment of some of the other areas of our business. And it was certainly the toughest decision that I've been faced with from a business perspective. But once that decision had been taken, the amount of growth justified completely as to taking that decision. I'd really recommend make that decision as fast as possible.
If you look generally, right now the key business aspects is streamlining, is how are you, unlocking efficiencies within the resources that you've got. So in looking at diversification, you are diversifying using the existing business backbone that you've got. Now, what you've gone and done is to diversify outside of the existing capacity and started something else. So the question is, have you optimized on the existing business capacity that you've got? If you're putting your market resources and focus into this one segment, corporate government, chances are you'll diversify the product and the service within this one stable base. So I think your diversification has actually gone outside of the necessary boundaries that any business is facing right now. You cutting the costs where resources are actually being depleted instead of generating the return, and preserve what you've got. This is the time for either preserving or growing using the capacity that is unutilized.
Sarusha, I have chills down my spine when I heard you ask the question to Mark, because 96% of businesses will fail within a 10-year period. And one of the biggest reasons is that they are not flexible in terms of the decisions that they made that might or might not have been wrong. And if they're wrong, fix them. And it seems to me that you made a bad decision to go down this path, and you're trying every which way to make it work. Focus on what you're good at and build that. Be one of the 4% that succeed. Don't follow your ego, because your ego is invested now in this. Your fantasy, the ego, all around this other business. Move away from that. Get back to what you're good at. You spoke about what you're good at and you're passionate about it. Focus on the one part of the business. Full stop.
I think you really need to play to your strengths, and you need to choose that field that you're going to play in. And by having a focused and dynamic strategy, you can move your business forward, and you can not put the core of your business at risk. And that is really what you need to preserve in these difficult times.
Some frank but important advice about playing to your strengths, diversifying within the field you're already succeeding in, and making that difficult decision to walk away from something that isn't quite working. Now, when we come back, Sarusha gets the thought leader's final thoughts and top tips. Stay tuned.
Register on simplybiz.co.za and get the support you need for your small business. Register on simplybiz.co.za and get the support you need for your small business. Read about this business in the Business Report this Friday.
Sarusha, plenty to think about. The thought leaders were pretty much unanimous that you should focus on the successful project management side of your business rather than the furniture side. Alon said the more good you are at one thing, the more likely you are to succeed. Cindy said legislation is already giving you a stepping stone towards securing additional corporate and government clients. Mark encouraged you to pursue referrals from existing clients. And Christine said there could be opportunities for you to use your creative energies to develop products on some of your consulting projects. So what do you think, Sarusha?
Very tough to hear, but I'm glad I heard it. I needed my deep subconscious validated. Entrepreneurship is about spirit at the end of the day, so I'm not deterred by this. I'm ready to move forward. I'll be going back to the drawing board. Watch this space.
Ooh, somebody means business. Well, here's the final thoughts and top tips from the thought leaders.
The advice that we've given you today is quite difficult advice to take in when you're looking at something that you've obviously fallen pretty much in love with and wanting to see succeed, and we're telling you to shut it down is not easy. I do believe, though, in taking that advice and going and finding yourself a mentor, someone that you can keep in touch with on a weekly basis. When you look back here in 3 to 6 months to a year, I passionately believe that this is the best thing that myself and the other panel could have given you. So thanks again for sharing your story. Very brave of you, and I wish you all the best. Thank you.
Sarusha, thank you very much for coming and sharing your story with us today. It is a brave decision to have a look at your business and perhaps not always hear the things that you want to hear. I honestly believe that you should relook at your existing business with a new sense of purpose and have a look at opportunities that currently exist that you probably are not taking advantage of. I believe that with refocusing your sights and relooking at your business, you will make a great success in your future.
Sarusha, you clearly have a winning formula. That is what I would be taking right now, optimizing and capitalizing on, and stick to this one winning formula instead of diversifying totally outside of the service offering that you've got right now?
2 points from me. Number one, make business decisions, not ego decisions. The kind of decisions that you have been making right now seem to be a bit of both. Choose to make business decisions. And number two, when you cut the other side of your business and when you focus on the 3 p.m. on the consulting, then make sure that you understand what is it that makes you special. What is the 3 p.m. methodology? What is the Sarusha methodology that you can then infiltrate into the minds and thinking of all your employees so that they become like you and start to proliferate that way of thinking as a consultancy. That consultancy then is your DNA, and you can grow that from 1 person to 2 people to 3 people and become the success that you can be.
Lots of excellent advice, Sarusha. What do you think some of your next few steps are going to be?
The first thing I need to do is maybe just take some time out to digest all this information and come up with a strategy that I can measure and implement. I need to appreciate and realize how well the company has done in terms of the consulting side of the business and shift focus. I agree with the thought leaders that I've proven credibility with the business on the consulting side of the business, and that I should exploit synergies and opportunities within that side of the business. As far as the range is concerned, it's very close to my heart, but I need to make good, proper business decisions. It might not be something that is easy to do, but I need to do the right thing.
Atta girl. Well done. Wish you all the best. Now you can see those top tips again on simplybiz.co.za, Nedbank's small business community where you can access useful tools and special offers tailored to your business, whether you're starting, managing, or growing a small business. And thank you so much for joining us tonight on Nedbank's Big Show for Small Business. Make sure to join us next week for our final episode of Season 4. Don't you miss it. It's My Biz, of course, is just one of the many ways Nedbank makes its vote for small business. And here's another.
As a small business owner, you're your own boss, and you wouldn't have it any other way. But who do you turn to when you need support? You go to Nedbank's small business community at simplybiz.co.za, where you get free advice and tips on starting a business, running your business, or growing it. Where you network with other business owners, find out about important networking events, and where you can access special offers and tools to help take your business to the next level. It's the kind of solution you'd expect from a partner that votes small business. Register now on simplybiz.co.za and get the support you need to start, grow, and manage your small business. Nedbank is proud to vote small business. Make things happen. Nedbank.
You clearly have a very deep understanding of your market and your business.
In that way, you can grow your business and control your business.
Financing options start to become available.
As businesses grow, they suck in cash.
You have to be independent.
Any investor is probably going to look at a couple of different things in your business. Yeah.
Anytime you do a job, you need tools.
Communicate with them 24/7.
Create a really simple, compelling vision that everybody can get behind.